Hey guys, this is my tutorial on how to assemble the Explorer's Journals kit. This kit makes 4 little journals, which are super cute. We've got a flora and fauna journal, and then we have some sketches and notes books. The assembly directions for flora and fauna are going to be the same. We're going to do those first. And then the assembly instructions for sketches and notes will be very similar with just one little difference because they have a few more pages. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. You can use scissors if you don't have a paper trimmer. And the only glue I'm using is this Elmer's washable school glue stick. A couple of other things I wanted to let you know before you start this project is that I printed all of my pages onto regular copy paper. This is a 32-pound copy paper, so it's a little thicker than normal, but not as thick as cardstock. You're going to want to be able to fold this. Cardstock is going to be too thick for this project. Also, if you're worried about your pages coming apart, if you find that glue stick doesn't hold strong enough for you, then I recommend using a stronger glue for your project, something like Fabri-Tac or a different glue stick product that maybe holds better for you. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces for my fauna book. We're gonna start with the cover. The first thing we're gonna do is just fold this right in half so that the print is on the outside. Give that a good crease. Then we're gonna fold right at this line here. We're gonna fold right to the middle. Leave just a little space so that this will fold open and close because this is our cover and we have to put the pages inside. So you're gonna see a little bit of white peeking through. You could put some ink over that if it bothers you. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're just gonna fold that in as neatly as we can, so almost in the middle. You might need to fold this up a little just to kind of find where that crease is. Get it as nice and neat as you can. And give it a good fold. I'm gonna use my bone folder just to sharpen those creases. So now we have the cover for our book. Let's make sure that it opens and closes okay. Mine is catching a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim a little bit of this off. Try it again. That's better. Now we're gonna glue down these little flaps. This is gonna just make the inside surface. And there's our cover. I have a little bit of a big gap, but most of that's going to be covered up. That's because I trimmed it. If you're a little more careful folding those in, you won't have to trim any off. And I got a little overzealous, so. But that gives you the idea. Now we're gonna do the pages. This is just gonna be an accordion fold. You wanna start with folding the first page so that the white is on the outside. And you're gonna just follow up to these little lines that are in between each page. So do that, and flip it over, and fold it right along that line. You wanna get as straight as you can. And the last one, I'm gonna just fold this in. Just like that. Give this a crease. You can use your fingernail or the back of your scissors to do that if you don't have a bone folder. Now we're going to glue together on the back these 2 pieces so that we have a flap on each end, and then these make our pages. So we're gonna flip this over I'm going to glue just on this panel, fold it over, and then I'm going to do the same thing right here. And that makes the pages of our book. The last step is to insert the pages into the spine, just like that. So we're gonna glue these white pieces right to our inside cover. So we'll glue right here. I'm gonna center this up as best I can. Push that right into the crease and then fold it shut, give it a smooth. Flip that over. And same thing on the other side. And there you have it. We have our little fauna book. You can flip through. The instructions are exactly the same for the flora book. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the notes book. It's very similar. We're gonna do the cover the exact same way. We're gonna fold this in half. And then I'll fold those panels in. Get as close as I can this time. There we go. Check our fold. Looks good. We're gonna glue these down. And there's our cover. Now we're gonna accordion fold the pages. So same thing, we're gonna fold the first one so that white is on the outside. And then same thing with the second one. Now you have two little accordion books. We're gonna glue these together, so make sure that they're both facing the way that you want them to face. And then we're gonna glue them together just like this. So I'm gonna put some glue on this side. And then as carefully as I can, I'm gonna kind of line up my edges as best I can. You can see it lines up pretty well on this side, but I've got quite a bit of white poking out over here. So before I glue anything else, I'm just gonna kind of trim that up a little bit. You can ink around the edges to kind of hide a little bit of this white. Since these are two different pieces, they may not line up exactly perfect, but once the whole book is put together, it will look perfect. There we go. So we'll just trim that up a little bit. I could come back and do a little ink on my pages before I insert them into the book. So now we've got our little accordion pages, and we're gonna do the same thing that we did on the last one. We are gonna glue these together to make a book shape, to make those pages. Go. Now we're going to insert these the same way as we did before. We're just gonna glue those outside panels right inside of the book. Make sure that your pages are facing the way you want them to face. Some glue. Center this up as best you can. Center it and then fold it shut. Flip it over, glue this side. And there's our completed book. If you're seeing some little things like that are poking out and you're really upset by them, I definitely recommend just using some ink. I have this vintage photo distress ink. That's gonna cover up a lot of those little edges and hide them. They'll just totally disappear. Just like that. And you're gonna repeat this same process with the sketchbook. Now I have all 4 of my books assembled. At this point, you can do whatever you want with them. I'm going to tuck mine into my fairy journal. I have kind of like this idea of somebody exploring this magical forest. So these are gonna go inside of there. I'll probably use a little twine or something like that to wrap around the books. We'll see, create some kind of little tie closure, just to add a little extra pizzazz to them before I tuck them in. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you haven't purchased this set yet, you can find a link down below. If you did purchase this set, I hope you will enjoy your cute, tiny little books and that you're going to use them to add to your creation.